So we're going live right now. Hey, everybody at Savytechgirl and at Streamin' Wend.
Hello.
Hello. Gotta make sure I think live right now. Hey, everybody. Savytechgirl and Streamin' Wend. Make sure I
I muted it, but it's really, I don't know what it's doing on me.
Okay, so at the top, turn your microphone off for a minute. Hey guys, we're going to be with you in 2 seconds. We're having a little bit of technical problem here. Wend is going to go to the top of her screen and she's going to just turn her microphone off. I think.
I don't know what is going on. Hold on.
It's got your YouTube. Did you turn your volume down on your YouTube? There? Hey guys, we're with you. Hang on a second. There we go. All your volume down, Wendy?
I'm trying to.
On YouTube, just mute it at the bottom.
Okay, it's muted.
Is it? Hang on a second. There we go. All your volume down? No, you're still on. You still got volume. Like that. You got an extra window on you? There? Okay. Think we're good? And then
now I can't hear you at all. I gotta turn the volume up.
Okay, mute your microphone for a second. We're with you guys. We're coming. We just have a few technical problems and we will be right with you. Streamin' Wend has her video on, which she wanted to hide herself, but her video is live. So you may as well say hi, Streamin' Wend. You may as well wave. Yeah, you have muted yourself, so perfect. That's good. Just go into your YouTube channel and make sure you're have no volume, and then we won't get any feedback. So hey guys, Savytechgirl here, episode number 4, technology update, week in review. Thanks everybody for joining us. We have a moderator with us this evening. So at Streamin' Wend is going to be helping us out once we get all those technical glitches out of the way. And she is going to be our moderator, so keeping an eye on the chat. Got a few people in there. Hello, Savytechgirl from Bill. Hey, Bill, how's it going? Bob's back from Florida. Hey, Bob, nice to see you. Gonna see if maybe at Streamin' Wend wants to take her, put her microphone back on, see if we get that crazy feedback or not. And if we don't, then she can say hi to us. So Streamin' Wend, if you want to unmute yourself, put her microphone back on, see if we get that feedback or not.
Okay, do you hear anything now?
Yeah, I can still hear the show in the background there.
I know, I don't know how to fix it.
Unmute yourself. Put her microphone back on, see if we get that feedback or not.
Okay, do you hear anything now?
Yeah, it's still hear the show in the background there.
I know, I don't know how to fix it.
Unmute yourself. Say hi to us.
Okay, do you hear anything now?
Yeah, it's still hear the show in the background there.
I know, I don't know how to fix it.
Okay, Wend, you're gonna have to mute yourself again. Sorry. She muted herself. There you go, she's out. Okay. She can just type to me, and then that way we won't get any of that feedback. So under the Google Hangouts in the chat, she'll be able to send me what the questions are. So yeah, hey guys, how's it going? We can review. Quite a bit happening this week, actually. Samsung have released their new phones. They're coming out with the S7 and the S7 Edge. So a little bit earlier than expected. And the other thing that they're going to do is release a virtual reality headset that's going to come out with it. So I believe if you pre-order now, you're actually going to be able to get this virtual reality headset. So that could be interesting. I'm sure the price tag will reach, they haven't released a price, but I'm sure it'll be sort of $700, that type of thing. And they have said that, I believe it's in the next 2 months it's going to be coming out, so it's a spring launch. They actually listened to the people and they have put the SD slot back in. So although it's going to only have 32 gig in the actual phone itself for storage, you're going to be able to upgrade that by putting an SD card in, which is something they took out of the previous version. I don't think that was the best idea for them, just because you're very limited on what you can do with a phone if it only has the 32 gig in it, and if you're not expandable, then it kind of limits you. So yeah, so they're releasing the new phones coming out, and iPhone is not far behind. They're going to be releasing the phone shortly as well. So the other thing we're going to be talking about today is the new Kodi. Another new release of Kodi's coming out. That is going to be probably in the next couple of months because the beta version is already available for download. Got a few people saying hi. Hi, Tamara. Good to see everybody in the chat. Please, guys, go ahead and put your questions in the chat area. We're here to answer anything about technology. If we can get 70 viewers in the chat watching the video today, I'm going to have a giveaway. So last week on Saturday, I had my show, and Thursdays are new night. So Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But on Saturday, I said if we get 70 people, I'm going to do a giveaway, and it will be one of my LouBoxes that is Streaming Media Center all ready to go. So stay tuned at the end of the show. I'll tell you what to put in the comments, and if we get 70 people, guys, 70, then we will start to do the contest. All right, and we'll enter your names in. So hopefully we can get that number in here today. If not, I'll continue running it into the following week. So let's talk a little bit. I do have a question here. Any news on Windows 10 phones? Well, the last I heard with the Windows phones is they're not going to be releasing a new one within the next 6 months. I think they're hoping to do some redevelopment, and it's sort of putting them behind. I think they're going to try and come out with, because now that Windows 10, that's it. They're not going to be releasing another version of Windows, and it's going to essentially be a lot like the iOS, so the Apple system. They're sort of redoing their phones, and I don't think you're going to see anything for probably the next 6 months. That's the last that I heard. They didn't have anything big at the CES, which is the yearly show that was out, and I'd be surprised if you see something in the next little while. And okay, so there's a few questions going on. I'll see if Wend is still there. I don't know if she has been able to actually turn that volume off.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, and there's no feedback.
All right, I think I finally figured it out.
Perfect. So come on, guys, let's welcome @Streamin' Wen to the show. She is our moderator, and will be keeping track of all the questions that come in. How you doing, Streamin' Wen?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. You've been playing around with Kodi this week? Watching anything good?
I have a little bit in my tiny little bit of spare time.
Yeah, you're doing all that school stuff and working, and
I am.
Someone's got to do it.
Somebody has to do it.
So we're hoping that Streaming Wen is going to be able to join us as many Thursdays as she can and help me out with the show, keeping an eye on what's going on in the chat room. This is a drama-free show, guys. It's just full of technology and sharing information. So she's going to help me out as far as that goes. I want to talk a little bit today about Google Photos. I don't know if anybody out there is familiar with it, but it is, as far as I'm concerned, it's one of my favorite apps. Mentioning the phone that the Samsung are releasing that is going to have the 32 gigabytes, I come across a lot of people that have smartphones and they're running out of storage. And most of the time it's because phones that we have now are actually personal computers, right? They're not phones as we knew it. And you know what, 10 years ago, whatever, you went in and you bought a phone, and that's what it was. It was a cell phone. You used it for emergencies, or the price of using it was quite high. So, but as time has gone by, I think probably everybody that's in the chat, and I know Stream and Wend, we have either iPhones or Samsungs, and they're personal computers, right? So Stream and Wend, what do you use your phone or smartphone for the most, would you say? Is it phone calls?
No, definitely not phone calls. I do find myself texting more often.
Yeah.
I find myself checking my emails. Of course, going on Facebook, Twitter, that sort of thing. So
Computer. It's a handheld computer. And the other thing is photos, right? So you know, somebody has a phone, and let's say you get it and it has 32 gig or 16 gig. That fills up pretty quick, because the quality of the actual camera that's in your phone now, or your smartphone, you're getting some pretty good pictures, right? Like I wouldn't take a camera on vacation with me. I don't know about you, Wen, but I take my phone, right?
We never do anymore. We just rely on our phones, I find. And I mean, we just actually got the new iPhone 6S, so I'm loving that. But the camera, the quality is excellent.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And then the next thing you know, you've filled up your phone with all the pictures. And Google Photos is a fantastic app. And the best thing about it is it's free. So I do, on my YouTube channel, actually have a video that goes through it and shows you how to install it. But essentially what you do is you put it onto your device. So whether that's your tablet, your computer, onto your smartphone. And once you put it in there, it will say, will you allow me to get all your photos? It will synchronize into Google Photos, which is now on your device. So as long as you have data or you have Wi-Fi, you have access to those pictures. Once you've backed everything up, which I think I backed up 1,300, and it took a while. I mean, it took overnight, and it uses your Wi-Fi, but I took everything off my phone, right? So now I don't have to worry about using the storage on my phone. I can just use Google Photos. It's also a great way to back up. And obviously, I would suggest you have another backup as well. But yeah, I think it's free, and you don't really lose quality. I mean, for somebody like me, I'm not going to notice if the quality is slightly off. If you're a photographer, then you do have an option where you could pay. But I could, if I wanted to, I could have 1 million photos on Google Photos. Did you ever install it, Wen?
I haven't actually installed it. To be quite honest, I haven't really heard of it. So I'm going to have to check it out for sure.
Yeah. And like I say, it's free. So it'll look at your phone or your smart device, your tablet, whatever. You can log into each of your devices from the account. So it would be your Google account. And yeah, it'll look at all the photos, it'll download them for you. And once you have synchronized it, all you need to do after is open the app, and any photos that you have taken since the last synchronization, they'll just synchronize and you're all set to go. So you can delete all those photos and gain that space back. And now you don't have to go buy a new phone, right? Because they're expensive now. Like,
Wow.
you know, you just bought a couple of phones, so you know.
Yeah.
How expensive they are.
Super expensive.
Yeah, so that's my app of the week. I love it. I mean, I talk about Google Photos all the time. So that's a plug for Google Photos right there for you. Okay, so yeah, so Samsung's come up with a new phone. iPhones are going to be releasing them. So although they released in the fall, they released in October, they're coming out again, and the next phone's going to be smaller. I use the 6 Plus, right? I love my 6 Plus. But the new phones that are coming out, the screen's going to be smaller. I think it's going to be the size of the 5, but they have an upgraded OLCD screen, so you get a lot more clarity out of it. Yeah, so that happened this week as well. And as far as Kodi, there's going to be another new release. And like I say, they've just released 16, and now 17's on the way. Okay, so do we have any questions out there that?
I do have a question here with regards to your LouBox. Bob wants to know, do you ship to the USA?
Yeah, absolutely. There, depending on where you are, obviously there would be a charge for it, but if you leave your information, and you can always get me at savytechgirl@gmail.com. You can send me your information there, and then we can get that all figured out for you. So another really exciting thing this week for me, I found it really exciting, was Raspberry Pis, which are microcomputers. And I don't know, I don't have one here, but they are tiny. They're a tiny computer. They have just released the Raspberry Pi 3. So last week I spoke about the Raspberry Pi Zero, and on my website, savytechgirl.com, I have some information on there, but the Raspberry Pi Zero is a $5 computer, $5 American. And the new Raspberry Pi 3, which I just want to hang on quickly. I want to get the specs because you won't believe me if I tell you what's on these. And they are $30 American, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, they are. So it's a full computer. You can load Windows 10. You can run Windows 10, which is a free Windows 10 version released by Microsoft. And you don't have to pay for it. Like I say, it's a free version for it. And the specs. Okay, so it's a 1.2 gigahertz processor. Okay, so it's performing 10 times faster than the original Raspberry Pi that came out. It has built-in Wi-Fi. It has built-in LAN, so it's got your LAN connection for your network. It has built-in Bluetooth 4.1, and it's compatible with the Raspberry Pi and Pi 2, and all of that for around $60 Canadian. Right, wow. So you essentially, yeah, you could run it as your computer. I mean, I do run Windows 10 on a Raspberry Pi 2, and all you need to do is hook up an external hard drive to it, and you have yourself a nice little microcomputer. So nice and cheap. Plug in your monitor. It's got HDMI in it. You can plug your monitor in, and so you can either have a nice little streaming media center, or you can use it for your regular computer. So for, you know what, less than $60 Canadian, I think that's a pretty good deal. I was pretty excited when I saw that this week. So
can't go wrong. I might have to get one of those.
Right, yep. And like I say, the Windows versions are free. You can run Linux on it. Really, like, the opportunities are endless with it, and they say that the price of it is, honestly, that's next to nothing, right?
Definitely. So Tamara is asking, what are your box specs? So hopefully that just answered her question.
Yeah, that did. And did she say something about an SD card?
She said that when you were talking about photos, that she uses an SD card and then she transfers her photos to her PC.
Yes. Okay. And that's when I talk about backups, I always like to say to people to have 3 backups. Okay, so essentially you have your original copy, you have, let's say, a backup that's in Google Photos, and then I always like to have a backup, whether it be on your actual PC or an external hard drive or in another cloud source. So if you're with Apple, maybe you're using their cloud feature, Samsung, you know, there's Dropbox, things like that. But you really need to have backups. So many times with my customers, we get to the point where something crashes, and you know what, I can recover a lot of things, and I've recovered hard drives that have crashed, but you really need to have that backup that you can jump to. And if I say it once, I'm going to say it 100 times. It's one of the most important things. So for you to use the SD card and transfer your photos, absolutely. Put them on your PC, and make sure you back up your PC, though, because you want to make sure you don't lose any of your files in your PC, too.
Oops, sorry. So Tamira is a he, and he's laughing. So sorry about that. We didn't mean to offend. And
I'd rather not.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Siri. So he's asking, how do you get Windows 10 free version?
For the Raspberry Pi?
I'm not sure.
He's probably talking about the Raspberry Pi. I can actually, what I will do is I will put a link in my show notes afterwards, and it's a pretty small file. So it's called Windows 10 IoT Core. Okay, so it's a fresh install of Windows 10. It does look slightly different, but it has all the usability and everything of Windows 10. So if you had something running off the external hard drive, you could use it without any issues at all. And I will definitely put a link in the show notes, so you can just click on that, and then you can download it for free. Okay, so
another, not necessarily a question, but Bill is telling us that Windows Live account will give you 15 gigabytes plus 15 gigabytes if you connect by your camera.
Ah, perfect. 15 gig, that's great. And then an extra 15 if you connect by your camera. So a lot of cameras now are Wi-Fi. A lot of them you're able to set up, like you can log in with your account, which is another great feature, right? You're out there, maybe you're on vacation, you're taking your pictures, and as soon as you have Wi-Fi connectivity, or maybe you even create a hotspot. I don't know if people are familiar with what a hotspot is, but you can create that on your iPhone, and you have the ability on an Android. So essentially you get a Wi-Fi or a connection to the internet. You can be posting your photos. So that's good to know. Windows Live account gives you possibly up to 30 gigabytes. Thank you for that, Bill. That's a great bit of information. And yeah, so what else do I have here? So talking a little bit about Kodi. This week, everything has calmed down a little bit. Last couple of weeks has been a little bit crazy with trademark issues. And I'm not really going to get into it. I just want to say that it has definitely calmed down. Kodi is an open source software, okay? So everybody needs to understand open source means that if you were to, you can go to GitHub, which gives you access to all of the programming language. And that programming language is out there, just like Linux, for you to do whatever you would like with. Okay, so I could go on and I can change that Kodi code, and I could make that into my code. So by going in and just changing it, some people change a lot, some people only change a few things. But you can make your own streaming media, or you could do anything like Linux. There's tons of different versions of Linux, which is an operating system. Again, free, that you can install on laptops, desktops. So, but what had been happening was a lot of people had been purchasing boxes off of eBay, places like that, and disclaimer there, I don't have anything to do with either. I am not affiliated with Kodi whatsoever. I'm a third-party person. But what was happening was a lot of people were going on, and then they were turning them on, and then maybe they couldn't connect to something. And all of a sudden, they're emailing Kodi.tv. Oh, this isn't working, that isn't working. So that has nothing to do with Kodi. If you were to have a desktop computer and you're running Windows and you install third-party software, let's just say it were a word processing program, nothing to do with Microsoft, and then you phone Microsoft and say, this isn't working. It has nothing to do with them. They're completely separate. All they have done is provided the platform which people are using for streaming media. And that's where it got a little bit messed up. So guys, all I can say is if you have problems with anything, so if you're using Windows, you're using Linux, you're using a Mac, and you have problems with third-party software, either go to the developer that has developed that third-party software, or go on and contact people like Husham. I was on his show at 5 o'clock today. Go to someone like Solus, a third-party developers just come out with SMC. Come to a show like this. And if you can do that, things will be a lot less complicated. Say it has nothing to do with Kodi. It's third-party developers, no different than third-party developers putting out programs and stuff for Windows or Mac, whatever it is. So you just need to remember that if you go to the right source for the issue, then everything will get sorted out, and we're here to share knowledge. That's what we want to do. You guys have tons of information to share with us, and we have lots to share with you. So that was where it got a little bit complicated. I think everything has pretty much calmed down, and they're taking care of what they need to take care of. So I just wanted to throw that in there and just let you know that you need to do things like this, to come to the people that can help you, and don't go to Kodi themselves, because they have they're developing the interface. They do a fantastic job, great software, and hopefully in the next, I'm also looking at the programming and changing it up a little bit. So hopefully I'll have my own at some point. So I just wanted to clarify that. So anything to add to that, Stream and Wend?
Nothing right now, but I do have a question for you from Johnny.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he says, okay, some add-ons in Kodi have the option to clear cache, and in Kodi maintenance tool also have clear cache. So he wants to know what's the difference.
Okay, so the only difference between that, Johnny, is if you were to clear the cache within an actual Kodi add-on, we're in Exodus, just for example. I don't even know if it has that option, but it would only clear the cache in that particular add-on. If you clear the cache under the maintenance tool, it will clear all of the cache. And just to clarify what cache is, in case anybody doesn't know, cache is a temporary file. So what happens is, if let's go onto the internet, Savytechgirl.com. When you go to Savytechgirl.com, it's going to put my website into your cache file, which is temporary. Okay, if I update my website and you go back to my website and you have not cleared your cache, you will see my old website because it's looking on your hard drive. It's to make things easier and it's to make things quicker. All right, so what it's doing is, instead of going back on the internet and using all of your data, it's going, oh, you know what? Stream and Wend went to Savytechgirl.com yesterday. I'm just going to pull it from the actual memory on the computer. So that's what cache should do. It from within just the add-on, it will only clear the cache in that add-on. If you do it from raw maintenance or the maintenance add-on, it clears it from the entire box. And I suggest that you do that. I do it every day. I'm using it. Hope that answers that.
Sounds good. So Tamara, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that. He is mentioning that 123 movies are now available in the Windows App Store.
Okay. Yeah, and I've also saying that there is in the Windows App Store. Yeah, I think that's the one. So it's not exactly the same add-on though. So 123 movies isn't the same add-on that's in Kodi, but it's fantastic. Have you seen it, Wendy?
I haven't seen it, no. I mean, there's really so much to look at and to look for. I just don't have enough hours in the day.
So this is from the Microsoft store. Let me see if I can find it. So although the name is almost the same, I don't believe it has any affiliation, but I want to show you guys. So this is coming straight from Microsoft, okay? There's got to be a screenshot here that I can show you. Yeah. So 123 Movies. And I was quite shocked, actually, when this came out. Doesn't want to do it. All right. Bear with me 1 second here, guys, because they have essentially within the Microsoft Store, App Store, 123 Movies, and it might be even quicker for some of you to look it up in Google, but they have released almost identical to what Kodi is, Netflix. So they've got HD movies right now, most popular TV shows, everything, and it's in the Microsoft download area. So although it's not the same, I don't believe it's the same developer at all as the one that is in Kodi, but it essentially is Netflix that has gone into the Microsoft Store. It's free. It's a free app. And yeah, you can watch all the movies, the trending movies, everything. So I would suggest that take a look at it, because it's very interesting that something that has so much controversy is now actually in the Microsoft App Store.
Wow.
And I was quite shocked.
Are you searching for it and not finding it?
I did find it, but I'm trying to share my screen, and it's not.
Oh.
All it wants to share is my Google Hangout.
Okay.
For some reason, let me just see if I can. No. Stop. Yeah, it's not going to let me share it, but I will. Again, I'm going to put a link in the show notes for it. It's just it won't let me share it right now for whatever reason. But okay. It does work really well. I tried it. I was very impressed with the fact that it was almost identical. It's essentially a streaming media center. It has been okayed by the Microsoft App Store, and legit. It's totally legit. So for anybody that is not familiar with Kodi and is very familiar with Android and Google, Microsoft, absolutely go in there and download it. I don't think you would be upset at all.
So I think he had a further question. He's asking if the thumbnails are part of the cache in Kodi.
Yeah, so the thumbnails that you would see come up when you do a search. So let's say you searched for TV shows or anything. You go into menus and TV shows come up. Yes, all of those pictures that you're seeing, the thumbnails are cache files. So if you clear the cache, next time you go in, it'll just take a little bit longer. Okay, and that's the reason. If you don't clear the cache, though, you got to remember, guys, that these boxes don't have tons of memory and storage. So sometimes you get to the point where you get some error messages coming up. Maybe you get some script errors, and usually that's caused just by running out of space. So remember to clear your cache. It will work better for you if you do that than if you don't. So just make sure you keep up with it.
Okay, so I'm not too sure about this one, but GK is asking if you can explain SMC.
Okay, so SMC is Streaming Media Center, and it has been released by Solus. So he has designed it. So what really it's a different version of Kodi. So using the Kodi open source, he has rewritten it and made it different. It's look and the feel is the same. Third-party add-ons, pretty much, they're all working. It's been a work in progress. He's done a fantastic job on it. So just a different name. So it used to be XBMC was one version. Kodi's a version. You probably heard FMC going around for a little bit. So that was Freedom Media Center. And so SMC is Solus's Media Center, or Streaming Media Center. So same thing, just different coding, and all the add-ons you'll find will work. So hopefully that answers that.
Yeah. So Bill commented he just installed 123 Movies from the Windows Store, and he started Ant-Man at 720p. That's awesome.
Oh, good. And I'm sure it was quick. I know when I tried it the other day, it was fast. I mean, I didn't have any problems at all. And like I said, like completely legit, Microsoft is okayed it. It's in their store. So anybody that's got it, you know what, on any of your devices, your handheld devices, or onto your computers, just you want to put it onto your TV, just grab the HDMI cable and connect. I did have somebody actually ask me a question this week in regards to HDMI or computers running multiple monitors.
Right.
Which is something I do on a regular basis. And the question was if they had a USB, so they had one VGA output on their desktop computer, and then they had 6 USB ports, and they had Googled, there's a USB to HDMI adapter.
Mm-hmm.
So they had connected the USB and the HDMI, and they connected it to the monitor, and it wasn't working. But what you need to remember is in order to get a double monitor, you would have to have 2 outputs, 2 video outputs, and the USB isn't a video output, okay? It's just a signal. You could actually, if you had the HDMI monitor to the desktop, maybe you had a USB stick that goes into the side of the monitor. You could go in but not out. So it seemed like a really low-end or low-cost solution for them, but unfortunately that would never work. You would actually have to have 2 video output cards in order to get it. So I just wanted to throw that in case anybody tries to do that. Lots of people like double monitors now, so you just need to make sure you've got 2 video sources for that. Just threw that in there.
Okay. So Diana has a question about an antivirus. She's looking for a good free antivirus for Mac.
Okay, so interesting that you say that. Over the past 6 months, they've done a lot of surveys among programmers and developers, and when they talk about the top things that people are looking for to put onto their systems now, antivirus is not up there. The reason for that is it's kind of, if a virus comes out, the antivirus is behind. It's not going to catch it, right? Like if a new virus, let's say I developed one tonight, well, the virus programs aren't going to catch it because I'm ahead of them. So the main thing that you need to do in order to make sure you're staying protected as far as the viruses that are out there, you got to do updates, okay? So whether you're running Windows, whether you're running Macs, you need to do updates, because if you do regular updates, your system is going to be, all the patches are going to be in there. Any of the software that's on your computer, any of those updates that come up, that, you know what, those developers are in the background and they're trying to work ahead of everybody. So if you want to put a free antivirus on, by all means, you know what, I suggest I use AVG. Windows now comes with it. It has its own antivirus program now. but really you need to make sure that you're doing automatic updates. In the past, a lot of people have not done them, but you have to stay ahead of the game, and that's the way you've got to do it. So that would be my suggestion, and that's what I would stick to. You guys have to do your updates to make sure you stay ahead of all those viruses. Once the virus is out, it's too late, and then the antivirus software comes out and it catches it 3 days later. It's already done the damage. So that's my tip on that.
Okay. Someone is answering Diana's question saying Avira is a good one on Mac.
Yep. Yep, Avira is a good one. As I say, if you want to make sure you've got antivirus on there, you feel more comfortable with it, and you're lucky anyway on a Mac, you're pretty protected anyway. It is becoming more common that people are writing the viruses for Macs, but yeah, absolutely. That is a good one that you could use for sure.
Okay. So I have another question from Vinny.
Okay.
He's asking, can a VPN be installed on a single Fire TV box?
Yes, it can. Just trying to think of the name. Yeah, you can install VPN on like single or multiple clients, and what's the name of it? Fireware, I believe. I'm just looking up the name here. Yeah, Fireware, and there's also WatchGuard as well. So absolutely, the VPN, you can put a VPN on one device, and you can put it on multiple devices. And also, if in your home, there's a lot of routers now that you can actually put it at the router, so you don't have to do each individual device within your house. So depending on what you're doing, VPNs, I personally like VPNs. I don't use them all the time. But yes, you can, and again, I can put that in the show notes, but either Fireware or WatchGuard you can use for that.
Okay. Tamura says there's an app in the Play Store apparently called Apps to Fire that allows you to transfer apps from your Android to your Fire Stick.
Ah, perfect. Good, I've never used that. Great. Yeah, I should try that one out. So I would assume then it's just, I don't know if it uses Wi-Fi or must use your Wi-Fi. That's great. Thanks for that tip. Appreciate that. Who called that tip in? Who was that?
That was Tamra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So kind of staying on the same subject, I don't know the name here, but someone uses TorGuard VPN app on their Android boxes.
Okay. TorGuard. Yeah, I haven't used that one, so I'm not really sure of the details on it, but thanks for that. So TorGuard VPN.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can use them on your smart devices too, guys. Anything that you're connecting to the internet. A lot of people are using VPNs for restricted content, and the fact that, you know what, I was born in England and I love the British TV shows. And sometimes it's really hard to use certain apps and stuff. It gets blocked. And you know what, it's nice every once in a while to be able to view that content. So a VPN would essentially fool my network into thinking that I was in England or Scotland or wherever, and I would be able to watch it. So they are a great addition, and I just putting them on. Now, the one thing you need to remember that when you're streaming, and it was actually in CBC, it was a big article in the newspaper the other day, but when you're streaming, you are not downloading, okay? So you are allowed to stream. You can stream TV shows, you can stream movies. Obviously, there's, you know what, if you're streaming a movie that's in the theater, well, clearly there's an issue with that. But as far as streaming, you are not storing any information on your hard drive, and therefore there's no copyright for that, because you cannot, you have no intent to sell it. So That's just the way it is, and I'm sure maybe one day that'll get changed, but as it is right now, anybody can stream anything. So if you are not running a VPN, you know what, it's not a huge deal, but it's good to have them, and there's a lot of free ones out there too, so you don't have to worry about all that as well, extra prices everywhere.
So Vinny says, thanks, Savvy. And he was just looking to unblock some of his boxes, or at least one of his boxes, to stream content from Europe.
Yeah, I actually, I use Open, but now I'm drawing a blank. What do I use? I've been using it for 5 years. OpenVPN. Let me just make sure that is the one I use. I feel like it's not. No, that's not the one I use. I'm drawing a blank, guys. My concussion is catching up with me. Geez. Why can't I think of it, Wen? Why can't I think of it?
I don't know.
I can't think of it. Anyways, I have used OpenVPN. Not my... I like it. I just didn't find it as good as the one I used, which clearly I don't remember.
Well, we'll have to get back to that.
It allows you to do is say what country you're in, and it actually has smart as well, so you don't have to do any of the programming. It just, you click on a button and it does it all for you, which is, but yeah, I can't for the life of me. Oh, here it is, Overplay. There it is, overplay.net. I've been using them for years, and very, very simple, like $5 a month, and all I have to do is push a button and it updates my all of my account settings, and that's it. I don't have to do anything else. If you did want to put it right at the router, you can also do that. It's very simple. They have instructions for it. Overplay it's never gone down on me in all the years that I've used it. So now that I remember the name of it, I can tell you that it's a fantastic product. So you might want to check that out, Vinny. You can either use it on one device or multiple devices, and all you'll have to do is change your DNS entry in that box that you're using. So you just go into your network settings. They tell you the DNS number to use, and that's it. You're all ready to go. So.
Okay, I have another question for you from Bill. He wants to know, is the Pi getting viruses?
No, the Pi is currently not getting viruses. It is such a fantastic little microcomputer. I can't even, I also use Arduinos. I don't know if anybody's really heard of those, but they are more for automating things around the house and stuff like that. But they can also work in conjunction with the Raspberry Pi. But I would suggest, if you get a chance, and you've got, you know what, $40 extra or whatever, I would try a Raspberry Pi. For anybody that's interested in computers, and they're super simple to use. Like I say, you can either put a Windows 10 on them. They do have their own software. It's called Raspberrian. So it is a user interface, just like Windows is, Linux, and they're, yeah, it's fantastic. So give it a try. I think you'll really like it. And no, you don't have to worry about any viruses. So you can, you know what, you can make them into retro video game consoles. So much you can do with them, and for the price, honestly, you can't lose. The Zero, let me get the specs on the Zero, but it's $5. Like,
That's crazy.
I know. How can you not buy a $5 computer?
I don't know.
even if you never use it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a $5 computer.
Just the point of it, right?
And I think, actually, if you go to raspberrypi.org, yeah, raspberrypi.org, they have the Windows 10 IoT Core software, or operating system. They have the Ubuntu Core, so you can put Ubuntu on it. One called Ubuntu Mate. So the Core is for developers, and the Mate is Ubuntu Desktop, so that is Linux. They have one called, so they have Open ELC, Open Elect, which is what you would use for media boxes. And you probably remember seeing that, right, Wend, in their settings, Open Elect?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then PiNet, so that is for classrooms, so for teaching, for kids. And then the RISC, RISC-OS, which is a non-Linux distribution. They also have the knobs, so new out-of-box software, so that's easy operating system installer, comes with it, or if it doesn't come with it, you can download it. And then the Raspberrian, so the official supported Raspberry Pi. So go to raspberrypi.org and go to downloads, and all of those operating systems are there for you. All free, all ready to go. Windows 10 for the Internet of Things. It's fantastic. Give it a try. And then go, I think the Raspberry Pi 3 may be sold out at the moment. The Raspberry Pi Zero is $5 computer. So 1 gigahertz, 512 meg RAM, mini HDMI, USB on the go, micro USB power, composite video. I mean, $5. Goes to show you what the markup is on a computer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. So yeah, give it a try. Yeah.
Tamura is asking still about a VPN. So he's wondering, is it worth getting a VPN for PrimeWire because it's blocked in the UK?
Yeah, you know what? If you can't find those feeds from anywhere else, then it will definitely unblock for you, for sure. So I would say yes. And for, you know what, it's probably a couple of pounds a month. It would definitely be worth it for you.
Yeah. So now he is actually thinking about a Raspberry Pi.
Honestly, I love them. I think probably right now in my house, I have about 12 of them.
I have 2.
See, we do. So we do different things on all of them. You know what? I'm doing media centers, and one of them I'm just doing for programming. And yeah, it's just for the price, you can't beat it, honestly.
That's great.
So anybody that wants one, if you want to send me an email, I can send, especially if you're in Canada, I can send you to the best place for it. So just send me an email, savytechgirl@gmail.com, and then I can guide you in the right direction. It's hard to find them in Canada, and they do sort of up the prices quite a bit. So let me know. If you're in the States, you can go to Adafruit. They are a great place to buy from. Never had a problem with them. It's just we really get hit with import charges.
So Raspberry Pi, Tamura is asking, is it better than an Android box?
Okay, the thing you need to think about with an Android box is most of the time when you get them, they're loaded up with software, and that slows them down. So I reprogram a lot of them, and it's simply because they're overloaded with add-ons and apps, and it just cannot process it. It can't keep up with everything. You take a Raspberry Pi 2, you put Open Elec on it, clean install, put the add-ons that you want onto it, and you're all set. You don't have to worry about anything else running in the background, and they pretty much run seamlessly. As long as you keep your cache clear, that's the main thing. And you know what? Even every once in a while, if it starts to, you think it may be slowing down, maybe you've installed a couple of builds, just do a fresh start all over again, and you're good. And you can get a SD card, whatever, put a 16 or a 32 gig SD card in, and yeah, you're all set. So go for it, give it a try. I personally think they're better, but like I say, the boxes are usually loaded up with stuff, and it just really slows them down. So
okay, so we have to get to this question, Bob, because he really wants it answered. So he wants to know, Dualmon remote access charges $1 per computer per month.
Yep.
And he says, if you pay for 10 computers, can you add and remove different computers as long as you don't go above the 10 client plateau?
Yes, you can. So as long as you don't go above that 10. So if you have 10 on there and you want to add somebody else, you've got to delete one and then add on. I use TeamViewer, which obviously I use it for business purposes. TeamViewer, if you are not doing business purposes, you can have, they do no charge. They are a really good, I can print remotely from them. I can log in. I just send the links to people. But yeah, you can have only a maximum of 10. So if you have 10, you want to add one more, you have to delete one. Otherwise, it won't allow you to do it. So good question, though. And remote access is great. Love it. Use it every day.
For sure.
Okay, so any other questions? Well, let's go for maybe 2 more questions and then we'll wrap it up. We're at our 1 hour mark here. It's been a great show, guys.
Yeah, no real questions. Someone is asking, actually, Tamura a question, asking what URL he's using for PrimeWare, because apparently Bob in the UK, his is working.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying if you, sometimes if you go into a different add-on, it'll work. You may go into one add-on and it may be blocked, but sometimes you go into another and it's working. So I don't know if they're answering each other back and forth.
They are actually answering each other.
Okay, so that's good because, yeah, and again, different ISPs, internet service providers, maybe one's blocking and another one's not. That happens quite commonly in Canada as well. We have a couple of major ISPs and one will let something through and the other won't. So if they're answering themselves, then that's great.
Okay, so one last question maybe we could fit in. What's the best HD premium IPTV?
Well, I actually am not a huge promoter of premium IPTV. My theory is if I'm just going to use the add-ons that are available and I don't want any extra costs. So you know what? I know Husham has a very good one. And again, that's my opinion. I have seen his and I've played around with it. So I don't really know any other ones. So I'm going to say Husham at this point. Obviously, you know, I'm on his show quite a bit. So he would be the one I suggest. But again, I'm probably not the best person to guide you because I don't resell it at all. And I don't have one. So that's my take on that.
Okay, maybe one more. Vinny's asking, are Raspberry Pi pre-built or can they be customized for consumer needs? For example, Kodi ROM emulators.
Okay, so when you get a Raspberry Pi, there's nothing on it, guys, okay? They are just blank. So what you need to do when you get it is if it doesn't come with the new out-of-box software, the knobs, you're going to need to go to their website. So that is the raspberrypi.org. And you're going to want to go to downloads and you're going to want to choose the operating system that you're going to put on. I would suggest the Raspberrian, or if you're familiar with Windows 10, absolutely go with the Windows 10 IoT, and then you set it up from there. Okay, so you're going to need your computer. You're going to need to download the operating system and put it onto an SD card, and it'll be extracted. And once you put that SD card in and boot that Raspberry Pi up, you're going to connect an HDMI, obviously, to a monitor, to a TV, and then it's going to prompt you, and you're going to follow the on-screen. So, but they come with nothing on them. So out of box, you can't plug it in and get anything. You have to install it. So, and again, I think there's about 10 options of operating systems that you can put onto it.
So Bill says, just a little comment, that it was his first time tuning in. Good show, and thank you.
Thanks, Bill. I hope you join again. Say this show is going to be every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys can send your questions in during the week, savytechgirl@gmail.com. You can reach me on Twitter @savytechgirl. You can reach @streamandwend on Twitter as well. Send us your questions and we will get them answered. So I think that's it, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up. Do you have anything else to say, Wend?
I don't. I think I'm good.
I think you did a fantastic job. Thank you for helping me out and doing all those questions. We had quite a few questions tonight, so that was really good.
We sure did.
We didn't hit our 70 people, but I know that we're going to get lots of views after we're done. And if we can get 70 people next time, then we're going to have another giveaway chance. So hopefully we'll see you guys next week. Again, thanks for coming out, everybody. And we'll see you next Thursday, 7 p.m. again.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.